I'm sorry, I don't have any bad movies on Denzel.
None.
No.
Not one.
Not
Guy's batting 1,000?
Bat 1,000.
He's had some points.
When he's your favorite, he's batting 1,000.
Inside Man is a close.
Inside Man is a good one.
Close
It's a good one. He don't fail.
No, he does. No.
He don't fail. He don't
Except
miss.
that Roman J. Israel movie.
I loved it.
It's that Deja Vu movie with Sanaa Lathan.
That was amazing.
No, that was not.
That was amazing.
That was shot on a flip phone. You see how terrible that video
That was the point. It was amazing. It was amazing. Out of time, amazing.
I don't know.
That train movie sucked.
Come here.
How are you going to bat for Unstoppable? That was 2 hours of my life I'd love to get back.
What?
The train movie.
Look, he carried the dude. I don't even know who the dude name was.
What kind of
He ain't been in the movie since.
Who was that, Chris Pine? That was
think
the.
so.
Yeah, he ain't been in the movie since.
But how about we talk?
There's a reason.
How about we talk about
Wasn't he in Star Trek?
He was LeBron. He was LeBron James, man. He was LeBron James in the movie.
what about Safe House?
Amazing. That was great.
The hell was Two Guns?
With
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
Come on.
Out of here. Book of Eli.
Candidate. I mean, he was the man.
Book of Eli, out of here.
No, what?
Did he land the plane? Did people
Yes.
not die? Then
Upside down.
Yeah, upside
even better.
down.
Even
Only
better.
Denzel can do that.
Even
Big
better.
facts.
John Travolta would have died in the first 2
Exactly.
minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Ryan Gosling can't land.
I mean, Face Off was nice though.
Remember the Titans? Double hand wave.
I'm with you. That's
Double
that's
hand
low
wave.
key overrated sports movie. Low key overrated sports movie.
Well, you guys are sickos.
What is good about
You
Remember
guys,
the Titans?
you guys are sickos. You,
What is good
you
about-
make it like this is DiCaprio and he made like The Beach. Like he made one of those type of movies. No, it's Denzel, brother. Huh?
Denzel peaked in the early 90s.
Stop it. He won an Oscar in 2001 for Training Day.
Look, I just stopped listening to him.
No, I'm looking at the IMDb page right
I just stopped listening to
How do
him.
you? I didn't really like Fences all that much.
I'm back on your side now. Because I just can't be with
Gil,
this dude.
Gil,
I can't even be with this dude anymore.
Gil.
Yeah, he's just gonna just knock fences like that. This alcoholic man who was cheating on his wife and had, come on, man, you can't make this shit up. I'm sorry, I'm a Denzel fanatic, so all of them are one.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. I'm Pierce Simpson. We hope you had a good evening. I'm joined here by Complex Sports editor, Mr. Adam Caparel. Cap, how you feeling, brother?
Next all right. Known to taking a few movies back in my day. but,
Okay,
you know,
yeah, he slandered Remember the Titans, you know.
Rightfully so.
Next, Adam Caparel is a movie critic extraordinaire and Denzel Washington's biggest fan, Mr. Gilbert Arenas.
What's happening? I even know that shirt.
What? This
Thanks,
shirt?
Dirk Diggler.
No, man, the porn star
From the movie.
from Boogie Nights.
Yes.
No, this is not Dirk Diggler. This
Oh.
is Dirk Nowitzki. Shout out to my boy Reed Glaze back home in Dallas.
Oh, got it.
They had 20,000 made to commemorate Dirk's career, and yeah.
He's not retiring yet.
I don't.
I know,
think
that's what I'm
Dirk
saying.
might
I
be
thought it
back.
was Dirk Diggler. I
Listen,
didn't
the
know.
fact that you're going Dallas for Dallas.
Didn't he
and-
say he's going
thanks,
to be
Dirk.
back, though?
Yeah, we'll see.
So you're getting ahead of the
Head of it, you know.
Ahead of it, okay.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. Another jam-packed night in the association once again because we're fully entrenched in the NBA playoffs. The first game of the night was the Wizards taking on the Raptors. The Raptors jumped out and destroyed the Wizards like they have been doing throughout this entire series so far. The Raptors beat the Wizards 130-119 in Game 2 to take a 2-0 lead in the series. The Raptors jumped out 44-27 in the first quarter. Of course, Drake was being his normal, very combative self when he's sitting courtside cheering on his Toronto Raptors.
John, you're getting bodied by 20 tonight. 6 buzz. 6 buzz. You're a buck team, my G.
So as you can tell, Drake is being very combative with John Wall. There was also another video where he called Kelly Oubre a bum and, had some energy on his face that seemed to be, some tension. There's speculation online whether or not Drake used a homophobic slur in that video towards John Wall. We don't know. He's using his patois and trying to do different accents. But regardless, is Drake the most annoying celebrity fan in the NBA?
He's a troll.
He's a troll? And you appreciate trolls.
Yes, I mean, we know him from his music. When he has it out for someone, he's going to troll the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Right now, it's playoff time, so everything is everything is a go. Yeah. And if you know anything about Toronto fans, they're all fucking annoying. The whole fucking country is annoying when it comes to basketball and fucking hockey.
Well, because isn't Toronto almost like a college atmosphere compared to other arenas?
It's a college atmosphere. I mean, you're gonna have a sold out arena inside that arena and outside that arena.
Despite the fact it's like 20 degrees outside.
Yeah, and so there's just a bunch of nut jobs. So I haven't even mentioned Toronto this year. And someone already, where the fuck are you now? Where the fuck are you now? And I said, do you really want me to start? Because you already know when I start, Wizards win. So do you even want me to do it? And then someone else having, nah, my G, just let us win.
Now, of course, the internet likes to dig up old tweets and old things that make you seem a little crazy out here. Kelly Oubre had a tweet from 7 years ago, back in 2011. Quote, Drake has no swag, which had a ton of A's and G's. There's no telling how old Kelly Oubre was at that point in time.
I mean, not inaccurate, but,
Okay, so that's what
not
you're right
inaccurate, number one. Number two, is Drake the most annoying fan in the NBA? Bar none, yes.
Really?
All right, as
The
a
most
Knicks fan, you know who's annoying? Spike Lee. You know who's extra fucking annoying? Drake, with all his nonsense.
He called Spike Lee annoying. He's a Knicks
Spike's
fan.
annoying, yes.
They're super fans.
I mean, I respect the passion and everything. Well, no, for Drake, though.
What is knowing is that fucker who sits in the corner and dances every fucking game when the dance came on. Now that guy's annoying.
Let him cook.
And where? What
Every arena, there's always that one guy who sits there and they put the cam on and he gets the crowd hyped before the fourth quarter. That guy's fucking annoying.
What's wrong with that guy?
That guy's fucking annoying. I'm sorry. And it's always this move. So he's going to always fucking sprinkle. He's always going to sprinkle.
It's so funny that Drake is this big-time Toronto Raptors fan, but he might have Stephen
He
Curry
has a
tattoo and
Stephen
Kevin Durant
tattoo.
I'm just saying.
He has his friends, okay? He probably has
You
a
have,
little
you
Wayne.
have tattoos of your friends on you?
Gil, you my boy, but I'm not getting no damn tattoo.
No, I don't.
Not at all. The second game of the night, the Celtics blew out the Milwaukee Bucks once again, 120-106 in Game 2, taking a 2-0 lead in that series. Young Celtic Jaylen Brown and Terry Rozier scored a combined 53 points, and Giannis dropped 39 and 8. Chris Middleton chipped in with 25 points, and Eric Bledsoe 5 for 13 from the field, 12 points, and Jabari Parker put up 0 points in 10 minutes. Mind you, it was a little spicy after the game. They asked Eric Bledsoe about Terry Rozier. He was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. So we'll see how spicy things continue to get in Game 3. But for Milwaukee to have, we think they have talent in a vacuum. But considering what Eric Bledsoe did and Jabari Parker did, do you think they'll ever put up enough talent around Giannis to make this team a contender? No? So I guess you don't believe in Jabari Parker?
No, you said putting talent like they're going to just bring in free agents. No free agents going to fucking Milwaukee.
Okay, so I guess that answers the
No,
question.
I'm just saying no free agents going to Milwaukee, so you have to build within. And building within, do you have enough talent now? Unless a miracle happens where someone doesn't want their superstar and they trade a $10 bill for 2 pennies.
Yeah.
Kawhi might be available.
Huh?
Send Kawhi to Milwaukee.
But that's the only way you're gonna get him. The only way you're gonna build that team if some GM out there is that stupid.
But if you look at a team like OKC,
They give you magic beans.
it's Magic Beans. They've had a track record of success through the draft or trading to get superstar players. At one point in time, they had James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant all on the same team that they acquired through the draft. Maybe Milwaukee can do that and put talent around.
But how many championships have they won with knowing he's going to win the MVP with 3 MVP players on their team at one point?
0.
Yes.
And they only went
because
to
they're
one
still
NBA
stupid.
Finals. Yeah.
Because they're still stupid.
Yeah, and mind you, that same squad had Serge Ibaka on that team and other standout players as well. So
All in their mid-20s.
that's crazy to think about. Cap,
Early
20s.
All right, whatever.
They were in their early 20s.
Yes, they were
And
early,
then broke it up not to pay the luxury tax, but guess what they're paying now? Luxury
Yeah.
tax. Cap, Milwaukee, will they ever put talent around Giannis to make them a formidable contender in each conference? Because mind you, they're down 2-0 to the Boston Celtics, who are missing their 2 best players in Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving.
I mean, you had a high draft pick in Thon Maker recently. Middleton's kind of developed into a decent guy. Bledsoe, there was a pickup, but I mean, Giannis signed a somewhat team-friendly $25 million a year kind of max deal, a year or 2 ago. He's got at least, I think, 3 more years left.
He's entering the final 2.
I think he's got a few more years left in the deal. So, they can do some maneuvering a little bit, but yes. I mean, is any major free agent going to go to Milwaukee? No. Hell no. So they have to get massively creative or luck out somewhere in the draft. So, long answer short, I don't think so.
Lucky in the draft. I mean, unless LeBron James is coming through the draft.
Well, they lucked out with Giannis.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it took him 3 years to get to where he is. But you're talking about Giannis to be 26 at this time, 27, damn near almost ready to leave.
But if you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, they have some talent. Maybe just
you could easily make a case they have more. So taking away Gordon Hayward and Kyrie not being in the lineup,
they definitely have more talent.
They have way more talent
right now.
Yeah, they have more talent, but do they have more players?
They don't have better coaching.
They definitely don't have better coaching.
It's more players. Do they have more players? See, the difference is Boston has players that know how to play the game. Milwaukee has young players.
Yeah, but Boston has young players too. Jaylen Brown's a second-year player.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum's a rookie.
Yeah. But you're still out. You have Al Horford, who's going to control and understand how to play that game. You have Smart. You have a team.
He's technically injured right now, but yes, you have some guys still
that can craft those young guys. When you're best player and the leader of that team is 23, you don't. You don't really have nowhere to go.
But
Jason Terry's there, but
Jason Terry dunked on you?
Hey, he dunked on me when he was 20. He's 40 now.
Jason Terry has been playing forever. The theme of the night continues to be 2-0 leads in the series, and arguably the most entertaining, not even arguably, the most entertaining game of the three was the New Orleans Pelicans taking a 2-0 series lead against the Portland Trail Blazers, 111-102 AD. 22-13, a modest game for him, but Jrue Holiday was obviously the story in this matchup. 33 points, 9 assists, 12 points in the fourth quarter. Gilbert, you made a great observation during the game where you said to yourself, Jrue Holiday is just taking over the final 5 minutes. He seems to be the go-to guy in the clutch for the New Orleans Pelicans. Why do you feel that way?
Okay, see, I think media and fans, mostly fans, they want your best player. They want the superstar to be Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. When they don't understand every superstar in the NBA doesn't have the capability of being a go-to guy. See, a go-to guy is the guy who can create from zero. So that means when all plays are broken down, you can give this guy the ball and he can create his own shot. That was Kyrie to LeBron. Mm-hmm. This is Holiday to AD. So if you look at the last 4 minutes of the game, AD, the best player on that team, hands down, right. No questions asked, but he didn't touch the ball the last 4 minutes. No. Because he is not the fourth quarter guy. The fourth quarter guy, you want the ball in his hand because he can create. He can bust through double teams. He can create his own shot. He has that advantage.
Do you think it's tough for a superstar player of Anthony Davis's caliber, who's had an incredible second half of the season, to relinquish that control and say, here, Drew,
but this guy has probably demonstrated what kind of player he was throughout, so they know this is the guy. So if you look at all the rebounds, Rondo's not being a point guard at this point.
Right.
Anthony Davis is not being a superstar at this point. Rebound, Holiday, do your thing, one-on-one. I don't need no screen and rolls. You didn't see no screen and rolls happening. It was just him breaking this man off the thing. And this is what Russell needed to understand. And he needs to understand, as you're Mr. Triple-Double, but you are not a fourth quarter player. You don't have the skill level. You don't have the creativity. You don't have crossovers behind the back. You don't have this kind of movement in a small, compact area to actually generate from zero. Yeah. You're like LeBron. You need to build up speed and take that advantage and use your boost. So their guy is Carmelo. So in the first 3 quarters, in the first 30-something minutes, Westbrook, it's your game. Yeah. It's you and Paul George's game. Half-court basketball in a half-court last 4 minutes. Melo is that type of guy.
Yeah.
Can you ever, like an AD caliber, one of the top, 10 players in the game, whatever you want to, classify him as, can a guy of his caliber ever become a fourth quarter player?
That's not his skill.
So just he's always going to be a decoy.
Yeah, he's a decoy guy. Like, he does his job. That's why. Prime example, 2003, 2004, KG, the big ticket. The big ticket, top 5 player in the NBA.
MVP season.
MVP season. Yeah. But Sam Cassell was the go-to guy at the end. Sam Cassell, at 35 years old, averaged 20 points a game, made an all-star for the only time in his career because he got put in a situation where the main guy wasn't the guy. Mm-hmm. Give me the ball. This is my skill level. Hitting big shots, taking big shots. That's where my IQ elevates. Like some star players they don't have that skill level.
That's a great point because the next stop that KG made where he had immense success with Boston, Paul Pierce was a late game player. A player that we all assumed was a late game player and could just dominate in these last minute situations. Dame Lillard, but I believe you gave a great stat.
He went for 18 in the first game. All those 18 came in the second half, I believe, and then 17 tonight. So Dame Lillard, who is a clearly top 5 MVP candidate, you can put him wherever you want in your hierarchy of that race.
Right.
But one of the top 5 players in the game this year only has 35 points to the team's first through playoff games at home.
But he's playing against 2 guards that offset his skill level. You got Rondo, who's a defensive player that's running around doing pick and rolls.
We saw Boston Rondo tonight.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You have that guy, and then if you try to take a breather, you have Jrue Holiday, who is going to play one-on-one with you.
Yeah,
so he's giving back what you do. So now it's who hits who first.
Yeah, and Jrue Holiday has a great case to be an all-defensive player in the NBA.
I mean, that's it. And that's what he's good at that too. He's a great defensive player.
I would have given the Blazers, the edge in terms of personnel heading into this series, and they've been outplayed. So.
Because you don't know. That's what I said. Because no one realized a skill level that, like, you look at Holiday, oh, yeah, he's a good player, but nobody realized, oh shit, he's their guy at the last 4 minutes of the game.
This series reminds me a lot of the Boston-Chicago Bulls series from last season where the Bulls took an early 2-0 lead against the Boston Celtics. Things are going back to Chicago. Rondo gets injured. Rondo's healthy this year. Portland's going to New Orleans for 2 games, down 2 games. What do we expect for the Trailblazers? Do we think they can even the series or what?
I guarantee you the next game, if it's a close game at the end and they go to Holiday, I guarantee you they're going to double. Yeah. Because if you looked at these last 4 minutes, he can get by anybody at any given time. At any given time, he got to the basket anytime he wanted to.
I'll guarantee this. I don't think Dame is going to be held to only 18 or 17 points again in New Orleans. So I expect the series to get back to Portland.
If he does, if Dame does give you 30, this would be one of those 10 for 25 type of 30s.
Yeah, this is a kind of
because he has a guy that's actually he has 2 guys that's gonna play defense. Yeah. You got 2 guys that's gonna play defense. You got 1 guy who's gonna try to score.
I just can't imagine you holding him down for 3 to 4 games in a row.
But that's what I said. But we gotta remember when you're playing against like a Steph Curry, Steph Curry ain't playing defense, so you're gonna get yours. Yeah. And then when you're guarding Steph, you really know, okay, pick and roll, I can switch. I'm gonna go to. So you get to save energy. He's not saving energy in this series.
Yeah. But looking forward to tonight's games, we have another full slate of matchups throughout the NBA. The Cleveland Cavaliers will look to avenge their Game 1 loss against the Indiana Pacers. LeBron posted a triple-double, but they ended up losing. Victor Oladipo and company went off. How do the Cavaliers respond and try to correct their problematic defense?
With a problematic offense.
That's what you're thinking?
I mean, they only scored 80 fucking points.
Yeah.
I mean, 80 points. I don't know how you go. I don't know what game you're going to win scoring 80 points.
The Pacers won 98-80. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, they need to get on board because we can say their defense sucks all we want, but the other team only scored 98.
Yeah, Cap.
I mean, Ty Lue talked about LeBron has to come out, be aggressive, and actually, kind of really take the reins and be the driver. So I guess look for that and see if LeBron actually puts the, pedal to the metal and really kind of gets the offense going. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of new guys in this team that's still trying to figure things out, and guys have really never been in the playoffs before, like Larry Nance, Jordan Clarkson. So, I mean, you have some injury issues, too, with the Cavs. So I guess a big thing to look at is LeBron going to be ultra aggressive in the first quarter the way Ty Lue wants him to be. Cavs are 8-point favorites.
Yeah.
Got to take the Pacers, right?
I thought it was pretty interesting that Kyle Kuzma tweeted out that the squad looks like the 07 Cavaliers, considering that 2 of his former teammates are on this new look Cleveland Cavaliers.
Also, Kyle Kuzma was like 8 years old back in 2007.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't whether the tweet was a great Photoshop attempt by social media or not. That's some little words from Kyle Kuzma. Do you agree?
The 07?
The 07 Cavaliers that went to NBA Finals that consisted of juggernaut players like Daniel Gibson and Ira Newble and Zydrunas.
Ones that got run, the team that got run out of the gym by the Spurs.
That gave Tony Parker his first Finals MVP.
I can agree to disagree.
Really?
I mean, this...
You're not going to slander Jordan Clarkson.
I mean, but...
This is a better supporting cast than what he had back in 07. He has an all-star on this team.
Yeah. And you talk about Kevin Love?
Yes. Is he not an all-star?
I mean, he is.
Is he better than Drew Gooden that year?
Oh, man.
Yes, I don't know. Come on, yes.
I don't.
Did you just...
And Ilgauskas?
These Denzel movies.
Ilgauskas was a tough center in 07.
He was a good center, yeah.
He was an all-star. Wait a minute, he was an all-star center.
But you're saying...
He was all-star caliber. I don't know about that season.
But is he comparing Drew Gooden to Kevin Love? Come on, man. Give Kevin Love.
You got to, give him more respect.
This is... They're probably dead on. That team versus this team.
There's more talent on this team.
There's a tad bit more.
I don't know.
Well, I guess the case can be made in where they lack in talent, or where they might be better in talent than the 2007 Cavaliers. They might lack that in coaching. Mike Brown and company might be a better coaching staff than Tyronn Lue and company right now.
I don't know. I know LeBron's going to go out there and score 40.
Yeah. 100%.
He's coming out the gates.
That's what you're thinking?
Yes.
Okay.
Cavs is going to win game 2.
Give me Pacers +8.
Pacers +8? Well, another former Pacer that will hopefully live up to his Game 1 performance is Paul George. He scored 8 3-pointers, scoring 36 points in the Oklahoma City Thunder's victory over the Utah Jazz, 116-108. And the nickname that he coined himself, Playoff P, was emerged. Do we think Playoff P returns in Game 2?
Of course it returns in Game 2 because he's playing in Game 2. I mean, it's not like he defined what Playoff P actually
So you're saying
meant.
playoff P
is
6 points?
Playoff P is just Paul George in the playoffs.
Because as hard as beatings in the postseason, playoff P.
It's not like he put a number on Paul, but
Paul George's playoff P. He was like, playoff P can go for 36 or he can go for 12. You never know.
As long as he's in the playoffs, he's playoff P.
I guess he's taking a different approach. Cap, what do you think about playoff P? Is playoff P the 36-point performer that we'll see, or do you think Game 2 will be?
I think when he steps on the court, he's technically playoff P. He redeemed himself. It wasn't based on performance. It was just, I'm in the playoffs now, so I'm playoff P. So I think playoff P and the Thunder, again, take care of a Jazz team that is not nearly as talented as the Thunder. So line is 4. Give me the Thunder -4.
Game within the game.
Game within the game. And a little stat for you, Jazz are 1-5 against the spread the last 6 games in Oklahoma City.
Donovan Mitchell kind of tweaked his foot in the final stages of that Utah.
But they've had 2 days off.
They've had 2 days off.
It was a bruise.
Yeah, Quinn Snyder wouldn't let him back in the game, even though he was hoping and wishing.
But also playoff P, little hip thing.
Yeah.
He set out for.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, if someone's gonna get ran through and swept, it is the Jazz.
It's the Jazz?
I mean, yeah.
Think so. Okay. All right. Even though they've had. That's fair. We'll see. We'll see if
like,
that comes.
you like Thunder -4.
I got Thunder -24. Who
There you go. Even better.
who really cares?
Lay it all.
It is the Jazz.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean,
In the third and final game on Wednesday, the 1 seed Houston Rockets will look to continue their winning ways. They won by 3 points against the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 1, 104-101, thanks to James Harden, who could eventually be the NBA MVP this season. Dropped 44 points. How can Minnesota stop James Harden? And before you start, I think one way they stop James Harden is not putting Derrick Rose on him in isolation like they did in Game 1. But how does Minnesota stop?
I mean, the reason the reason they probably put Derrick Rose is so he can get under James Harden on the dribble.
So you're saying because he's smaller?
Because he's smaller, so he can stop him from dribbling. But you might just go ahead and go all the way back to high school and just put the diamond and was it triangle in 2?
The boxing one where you.
No. You need the triangle in 2. He probably never seen the triangle in 2 because he probably wasn't.
I never heard of the triangle in 2.
Because you guys probably wasn't that good in high school. But since I averaged 35, 38.
Enlighten us.
Can we?
It's an automatic double, and then it's a triangle in the back. So 2 people stick me no matter what. So 2 people are going to stick James no matter what, and the other 3 zone it up in a triangle form.
But 2 guys on the baseline.
No, 2 guys on the baseline, 1 up top, and the other 2 players are just staying with him 24/7.
You keep talking that trash, don't make me cook you.
So the Rockets are going to have.
I didn't even look.
So the Rockets are going to have someone open the wing the entire time if they play that defense.
Yes, but it won't be James Harden. He said
but
how
they
to
have
stop
a million
James.
sharpshooters.
He said how to stop James Harden. He didn't say how to win the game.
Okay, that's a good point.
You're like, hey, James Harden got 8 points, but they.
Although the one thing I'll say is that Cat played like shit. He had he had like 9 points. Yeah. Jimmy Butler had like 13 points, and they still kept it really close.
I'm surprised teams don't disrupt stars. Okay, so if you say someone like James Harden who thrives off of points, I know Game 1 I probably won't win. So what I'm going to do is I will do a triangle and, a 3 on him. Yeah. And just double him, make sure he doesn't score more than 10 points. Right. Just fuck Game 1, make sure he doesn't, make somebody else look like the superstar. What happens in Game 2 is he comes out trying to fire and fuck up the chemistry of the team.
Okay.
Interesting.
A star player who averages 30 points, scored 10 the first game, but his team won, is going to go on an interview and say, oh, yeah, this is a great team win. This is a great team win, but you just fucked up his morale because now he's thinking the whole series is going to be like this, and all he thinks about is stats at this point.
And real quick, before we move on, the growing sentiment on social media is the fact that people believe that James Harden is traveling with his patented step-back jumper at this point in time. Real quickly, is he traveling or is he just moving the basketball?
Okay, no, he's not traveling. He's okay, so when you pick up the ball, you have 2 steps, on a layup. So you get the ball, you dribble, 1, 2, layup.
Yeah.
No one ever thought you can do this on a jump shot. So once I pick the ball up, I technically have 2 steps. And that's what he's been doing, that after he picks up the ball, instead of going for the layup, he's hitting it with a step back.
He's going backwards.
And he's going backwards. Right. So instead of going forward, he's going backwards. So it looked like he's traveling because he's using 2 steps that they like, I didn't know I can do that.
And you think he's consulted with refs to make sure it's okay to do that move?
So the reason he hasn't been called for it that I think he probably sat with a referee and did the move, and the referee was like, okay, that's fine. That is not a travel.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was in Chicago and I was working on moves, and we used to do like scrimmage games, and they bring in refs. I'll be doing the move, and I'll ask them, hey, can I show you this move? Is this an actual travel or a carry? And then they'll say yes or no.
Yeah, because a lot of times you've been hearing the term of like continuation dribble and
Yeah.
things like that. So maybe James can change the game. He already has. We'll see if players.
But it's just, but it's no difference when Manu came up with the
Euro step.
With the Euro step, when it's 2 steps, but it went sideways.
Yeah.
You know, boom, boom, and no one's seen it before. It's the same thing. Instead of him going sideways or front, he's going backwards. So, you know, before, the step back used to just be 1 in a hop step.
Yeah.
Not knowing you had another step to go.
Yeah, James, those lefties changed the game.
Spread's 10.5.
It's like
How leaning Wolves actually?
we go from talking.
It's a lot.
I don't see them blowing the Wolves
I was surprised at how close the game was.
I think they'll blow them out this game, in game 2 tonight.
because of the style they play. They don't have offense like that to blow out a. It's easy. It's like we already know when James Harden gets it, it's going to be either he's going to go right all the way to the layup, or step back right, go left all the way to the hoop, step back left. I mean, those are his offensive moves. It's not like he comes off down screens and he mixes it up where he's going to be a dangerous man the whole game. You know, he's going to be at the top of the key. So it's easier to play that kind of, even though you probably won't stop him, but it's easier to stay in the game that way.
Yeah. We'll see.
See what happens. All right, switching gears. Out of Bounds had a chance to go to the BIG3 Draft last week here in Los Angeles, and while we were there, I got a chance to talk to a bunch of guys like friend of the program Kenyon Martin, Quentin Richardson, Gary Payton, Jermaine O'Neal, about what to expect from the BIG3 in Season 2 that you can see live on FS1 starting June 22nd.
I didn't fucking go to this. It's like, you guys went there without me or something?
Gail can go. Yeah, doctor's note.
Obviously, last year was kind of a on the run type of scenario. Nobody really knew what to expect. We didn't even know how to train for it, to be quite honest. So now, we got a year on our belt. I think guys are really excited about getting back out there. We know the philosophy of the game. It is a little bit different than the up and down scenario.
I think it's more serious because we get to say a lot more what we want to say in this Big Three. In the NBA, it's more controlled. You got to control it. The referee's going to give you a text. You worried about getting kicked out of the basketball game. Here, we're not worried about that. We know we're going to say something, and then we're going to keep moving, but we're going to keep it competitive. And then what happens is it makes them play even harder.
I definitely think you got to have some guys that can play inside out, that can mix it up and go get buckets, but also can defend. And then you got to have some guys that can shoot the four. I mean, I think Coutinho could shoot it. I think Corey could shoot it. I know I could shoot it. And then,
Well, we know you can bomb away.
Yeah,
you can bomb away from anywhere. So the 4-point shot is perfect for you. Trash talking in this league.
Definitely.
It's different than NBA trash talking.
Definitely.
How different?
Well, for some people it's different.
Okay.
Mine carries. Gary's carries. Steven Jackson's carries. Certain guys it carries. Because it's coming from a genuine place.
Yeah. And you guys can say more shit in this league than you can in the NBA.
Definitely say more shit in this. Definitely can. They had me mic'd up for most of the games. Couldn't use a whole lot of the footage, but they found a few non-4-letter words that they can use the footage. But man, for me, that's part of it. I grew up talking shit in the park at the gym.
It's like playground basketball for you guys.
For me, that's what it is, man. If you can't do both, then you don't belong.
If somebody's talking crazy and they think that they're balling, you got to shut them up. You got to say something to them that's going to really, really shut them up. Jack is good at that. Kenyon Martin is good at that. And me over there as a coach is really great at it. I got a bunch of guys on my team that I tell them that don't worry about trash talking, just play. I got all the trash talking. I'm going to get to all the referees. I'm going to get to everybody. But I'm going to change the game.
And the Big Three is no fine behind it.
Oh, okay.
Still crazy physical. It's probably even more physical in the Big Three than it was in the NBA.
Really?
That's one of the first things that I knew, right away last year. They let you bang, they let you play, a little bit of hand checking. The NBA, they might shoot. One player might shoot 17 free throws because of the hand shaking.
You gotta like that more, banging a little bit more. It's gotta be more fun. Yeah.
At this point, where I'm not a high flyer like I used to be, I'm just gonna beat the hell out of people. I'm gonna try to be physical with them. I know I'm a lot more prepared this year than I was last year.
A lot of people told me, from seeing the game last year, that they really like it. They think it's old school basketball, with the physical aspect of it. Like in the league, you can't touch, but here you can touch. When I play, you can put your hands on So a lot of people like that aspect of
Old school basketball.
I mean, it's really old school basketball.
Would you have played in this if they had this kind of back in your day, just after your career into the NBA?
Well, if I made the kind of money these guys make, no.
Real talk, yeah.
I mean, well, if I was making $260 million, I'd have my own fishing lodge and I'd be fishing in Alaska somewhere.
All right, so that was a little trip to the BIG3 Draft last week here in Los Angeles at Fox Studios. So appreciate the hospitality that Fox and the BIG3 showed us over there. I think the biggest takeaway I got from talking to everybody, and we got a chance to talk to a few legends like Rick Barry, George Gervin, and all the other guys that came through, was that it seems like guys are taking this year, season 2, a lot more seriously and actually coming in prepared, physically and being in shape, whereas I think last year guys just kind of, went to go see what the deal was and just kind of play and see what happened. Guys are really training hard for this. Another thing too, one of the main things that we talked about with everyone was trash talking and about the old school mentality and the playground, feel of these games and how it gets spicier and they really chop it up on the court, really getting under a guy's skin, and that's really embraced and they really love that aspect of the game. So, I know last year was kind of an experimental thing for them, and maybe kind of the overall interest from some people kind of waned, and we weren't really sure what to expect per se. But again, they're doing some different things for season 2. What expectations do you guys have, or what are you looking forward to seeing the most from season 2 of the BIG3? We got new guys in the mix, there's Meta World Peace, other guys coming into the fold.
This is entertaining for me because this is like watching your uncles that are a little drunk after Thanksgiving playing basketball in the driveway.
I actually reached out, back then it was Roger Mason's, and I was like, why you won't just do make it, take it? Because make it, take it style is if there's a dominant offensive player, he gets to dominate. Now you get to highlight that domination. Because, somebody who can score off and rip off 6 or 7 straight baskets without any break, you can highlight that on a Sports Center. But the way it is now, you score, the other team gets it, a sorry ass player shot it, one of your sorry ass teammates rebounded out, he wanted to chuck some shit up, and now you got a whole bunch of motherfuckers that shooting the ball that shouldn't be shooting it. And that's what I got out of it. They can ISO me without knowing what they're doing.
You're not slick, right? You're not slick. So BIG3 been trying to get you to play for the longest time, right? So you try to hedge your bets by saying, "Nah, we should do make it, take it," right? And you get out there and start cooking and get on the highlights.
Of course, I want to cook these motherfuckers without actually playing defense. You gotta stop. You gotta stop me, bro. I'm not gonna shoot this ball. You scored, and you get the ball back, and then.
It'd be cool if they give you a forearm shiver doing that.
What?
Yeah. The physicality of the league.
What you gonna do?
It's fucking like Mike James there. What do you think practice was like?
You think Kenyon or Jermaine wouldn't put you on your ass?
You see Jermaine?
I'm gonna shoot
See how
two
big
free.
Jermaine is?
I'm gonna shoot 2 free. I mean, Gary Payton looked more in shape than Jermaine O'Neal. I see that. But I'm just saying, it's the same. We play in the summer together. We playing it. It's still the same slow ass feet guys. It's like just because you're fucking stronger and fatter now. It doesn't help you with that's what I said. Being bruisers that only work in the post. You chucking me outside and I'm blowing past you and you hit me while I'm in the air. I'm still shooting 2 free throws.
Keep that.
Well, all right. So interesting you say that.
I can keep the same energy until I enter the.
Exactly. So keep that.
But
same energy.
I want to make it, take it, so I can just keep the ball the whole time.
So you don't have to play.
And you just got to play defense all fucking night, so I can run off 50-0.
This is 2013.
Well, time for you to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, I can James Harden.
I say put your money where your mouth is because we asked a bunch of guys, and a bunch of guys asked us what your deal was, and they have a special message for you. So let's let them take it away.
Gilbert, this league is made for you. No one can stop you at the top of the key. Why are you not into it? It doesn't make any sense to me.
He says he's still still working his way through the YMCAs right now. The 24-hour fitnesses here in LA.
Keep killing them, Gil. Keep killing Hibachi.
Gil, I seen you at your best. Remember the days when we were at Michael Jordan camp in Santa Barbara? I know what you can do. I was shocked when you went in the second round in the NBA. I knew you were going to be a star. You would definitely be a star in this league.
Gil can be a great addition, man. He's a hell of a basketball player. He has a fan following, which is going to put more fans in the seats for us, for the entire league, man. But his play is what we need him for. You know what I'm saying? If he was to join, which we'll open him with open arms, man. So bring your ass.
The people have spoken.
Bring your ass. Kenyon says bring your ass to the big
I know. Look, for me to be successful, this is all I'm saying. For me to be successful, make it, take it, so I can ooh the crowd.
That's what it is.
So because if I score one time, and then now the crowd's on their feet, I scored again. Now the crowd is going wild. I hit him again. See, that's what I'm about.
Is it ooh?
See me scoring, and they're like, ooh, and then he gets the ball now.
Why?
And then he misses. Now my teammate got the ball. Then he misses. Like 5 minutes went by, I didn't get the ball again. And they've been ready for me. That's what I'm waiting for.
You just don't want to play defense.
Yeah, correct.
At least he's honest about it.
Let's be honest. I'll be sticking Mike Bibby. I already know what he's going to do. If he looks down at his feet, he's going to chuck it. Like, I've played against these guys and studied these guys. I already know Mike James. He wants to do all kind of screen and roll to shoot the three. I got it. I got it.
All right.
I know
I'm
these
impressed
guys.
with this energy.
I know these guys. I got what they're going to do. I know how to bop them and everything. I just want to bop them to the point where I'm a fan favorite because they can't stop me.
Well, the players are asking for you.
I'm asking for a rule change. Make it take it, Q. Make it take it. You got me. Trust me.
Q, make it happen.
Shit, I'm gonna average about 35.
Clyde Drexler, Ice Cube, rule change, you get Gilbert in the league.
Make it happen.
Easy enough. That's all it's going to take. Simple as that. All right, moving on. Adidas says it's down to sign Colin Kaepernick, but under one condition. Time for fair or foul. All right, so last week during a Q&A at Arizona State University, their Global Sports Summit, the president of Adidas North America, Mark King, said the company's down to endorse the unemployed quarterback only if an NFL team signs him. So King said at this little summit that, quote, if Kaepernick signs on a team, we would definitely want to sign him. We love athletes that have a platform to make the world a better place. If they're an activist in a way that brings attention to something that moves the world forward, even if there's controversy at that moment, we're really interested in those athletes because I think it represents the world today. King said Adidas doesn't want to give the impression that it's, quote, taking advantage of this noise or interest that he had generated, but it made clear that it would be a business move on their part and not kind of backing the activism thing. And, King kind of concluded these quotes by saying, quote, we're not in the business of activism, we're in the business of sport. But allowing our athletes to tell their story, it's really important to us. So it's kind of like, wants it both ways to agree with these comments. So, fair or foul, guys, for Adidas to come out and say, again, they're head of North America Global, that they would sign Kaepernick, but under the condition that he signs an NFL team.
Yeah, I guess I call fair from a business standpoint because I see what he's trying to do, but foul because of the conditions and what he put only if he signs with the NFL team, because you can sign an athlete at any time. Whether
he's not an athlete, he's not playing anymore. He's just an activist.
But here's the thing: if you're signing guys like Kanye West or
he's an artist.
Yeah, but
he's doing something right now.
Yeah, but do you know about the amount of
Colin
change that
Kaepernick
he's donated $1 million to various charities all over the country.
So he's doing
that he raised
his own money.
Raised.
But that's still generating money.
I mean, look, I was part of Adidas, so I know, the impossible is nothing. We told our story, a bunch of athletes. It went big. So them signing Cap, if he made a team and got to tell his side of the story, will be big for Adidas.
Yeah.
Making merchandise, this will be a big deal for both of them.
Why can't they do that now?
Because technically he's not an athlete. They want to sign him as an athlete, not an activist. So that's two different things. Right now he's an activist. He's not an athlete.
Yeah, but
so if he makes a team, he's an athlete. We can use that part of him. What he does off the field.
But haven't we seen them drastically, branch out and who they bring into the family?
Exactly.
Who?
All these artists and other people.
All these artists.
Yeah, but that's an artist for that type. Right now, he's an activist, and they're saying we're not in the business of activists. So they don't want to sign this Cap. They want to sign the Cap if he makes it. He can make the team, and they don't play him, but that's the Cap they want. They want an athlete Cap. And then he can tell his activist story as an athlete, but we just don't want a straight activist.
Listen, Adidas doesn't have a contract with the NFL. Nike has that contract. Mm-hmm. So if you really want to stick it to the NFL, I mean, it's not great for business purpose, but it'd be great to see them sign Kaepernick and get on that wave. And I get the comments that, we're in the business of athletes and sport and stuff like that, and technically Kaepernick is not, but haven't you seen the videos of him training to be a quarterback?
Exactly.
Didn't he just talk to Seahawks about being on the roster, and then they said, well, you're going to kneel? He said yes, and they're like, well, goodbye?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. They're waiting for him to sign, but they're saying, listen, if he gets a job, we're signing him as our athlete.
But my question,
they're saying it.
But the goodwill of signing him now, I think, would completely outweigh any of the bullshit and nonsense of waiting for him to sign with the team.
I agree. No, because if he's not an athlete, I don't want him as an athlete.
He's still trying to be an athlete.
But if you say...
I'll wait till he becomes an athlete.
But my thing...
But right now, if I sign him to a deal and he's just an activist, I don't want to touch him.
All right, to answer my own question, I'm going to call foul on this entire thing. Like, just sign him.
Exactly, because my thing is, it's disingenuous if you have to wait until he signs with a team if you really want to endorse what he's pushing and what he is. Why are you making it? Because technically he's still an athlete because he's not retired from the NFL yet. He's just unsigned.
So what happens if he never gets a job? Is he still a athlete?
Here's my question.
Like, I haven't retired. I'm not an athlete anymore.
But Adidas did some type of, whether formal or informal, deal with Chad Ochocinco, and he's not in the NFL.
Yeah, he just got signed like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
For what?
As an endorser of Adidas.
Yeah. So why not sign Cap?
Because they're not activists. They said they're not in the.
So then
he's an activist for McDonald's.
Yeah.
Putting that shit in the time limit.
I'm just saying.
He's an activist for unhealthy living.
It's in the middle because I see what they're trying to do. But they're saying, hey, if he gets a job, we'll be the first one to sign him. I remember when I got in trouble, and I had I can't even remember. Just cut it. I can't even remember.
No, you can't remember.
All right, so let me counter you with this though. But King again, who is the the head of North America for Adidas. He talked about not wanting to take advantage of this noise and interest that he's generated. But you putting that out there, you saying that at a global summit and at a university that's sponsored by Adidas, that's creating more noise around this and more attention and making it even more polarizing than it is.
Yeah, you're kind of drawing.
You're stirring shit up.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, they're just bringing awareness to
it's like, are they testing out like the reaction of
yes
that's probably it.
Yes,
that's probably it.
And 1,000%. They want to see.
They fouling, just like
they want to see what their fan base takes. Like if they start getting hate mail, like if you sign him, I'm done, and get a bunch of that, they're gonna buy.
But again, I would what?
You would too if you're a business.
If I was a businessman, put a feeler out.
Put a feeler out.
I would like to think I'd have the balls just to say I think someone fits into what we're doing and does the right things, and I want that person on my team.
But just like these teams, we'll give him a tryout if he what's the names, and you're gonna get the emails to see what these people say.
Yeah, but I think the people behind Adidas are a lot more progressive than the old white owners of the NFL.
Of course.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So I would think the people at Adidas would be better, be more apt to signing him and not deal with the bullshit.
But they're
have these obligations like A has to happen before B happens.
But I don't think Adidas will have a problem signing them or too much backlash because most of their fan base now is overseas soccer, and then hip hop.
Yeah.
Which supports Cap. And I'm probably sure that's the only reason they're jumping on it because their brand in hip-hop is the same brand that's actually still behind Cap.
That aligns with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
I think you're right there.
So it's your complex people. Yeah. It's that brand. So.
Yeah, it's very, very nuanced, but both of y'all provided excellent points. But fellas, that wraps up the latest edition of Out of Bounds. Felt good. Today felt good. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look,
full swing NBA playoffs. We got great content.
I mean, I feel better than Candace Parker right now.
Okay, for Adam Caparell, Gilbert Arenas, I'm Pierce Simpson. Wow, this is Out of Bounds. You see how to save it.
We do feel better.
I had to get you out the ocean. You're by yourself.
Being $400,000.
$400,000. You had to pay $400,000 to a man. Shit. Especially when the WNBA pays you in Bitcoin. Oh my God. Oh my God, that has to hurt.
She's sponsored by Adidas.
I mean,
but I guess if you paid in Bitcoin,
if you paid it
out.
That's what I'm saying.
She's a broadcaster like you.
I pay that motherfucker straight Bitcoin.
Cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency.
You better get out of it now.
Because it's about to burst.
Get out before it crashes.
It is about to burst.
That's that Bitcoin now.
Yo, he said pay it in Bitcoin.
I mean, it's WNBA. They don't get paid nothing.
Yo, G League don't get paid much better.
Are they going to be paid $35,000?
$35,000. Hey, brother, it's time to
$7,000 a month during the season.
Time to get a real job.
Yeah, that's still paltry.
Ouch.